Hey hon, I'm Chloe and this is the Flying Bird or Twisted Raven tutorial. My mission is to share my passion for pole dancing and make pole dancing easy to learn and accessible. This is the 31st video of the intermediate pole trick tutorial series. In order to maximize your training out of all the videos, I highly recommend you to start from the very first video of this playlist, as the tricks will be a progression of the video before. The Flying Bird or the Twisted Raven is such a pretty trick. It's one of my all-time favorites. The prerequisite of this move is to be able to do a pancake straddle and an inside leg hang, so make sure you watch those tutorials before you try this one. This video is mirrored for your ease of learning. I'll have a red wristband on both of my right limbs to indicate the right side of my body if you do get confused of the directions. This trick tutorial is created for you for informational and educational purposes only, and for you to enjoy learning pole dancing from the comfort of your own home. Please participate at your own risk and don't work beyond your capability, and seek help or spotting when necessary. For any health concerns, please make sure to seek professional medical advice. Please make sure you warm up your body before you start this video. I have a warm up depending on your level under each playlist so that you can try it before you do the trick. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up so that I know to create more of these kinds of videos, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet so that you are notified every single time I upload a video. If you're looking to further your pole journey in combining tricks and dance together, then consider subscribing to my online learning platform Pole Art Vault, where you'll be learning a dance and combos, learning an entire routine. For more information, you can find the link in the description below. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get into the Flying Bird or Twisted Raven tutorial. Alrighty, now let's get into our conditioning. Now, just to preface this, I won't be going through any conditioning for our inside leg hangs or the pancake straddle. So if you do need conditioning for those, make sure you watch those tutorials before. Now, this conditioning exercise we're about to do is going to make you understand the rotation through the shoulders and also through your obliques, because you'll need a lot of that while we do the Flying Bird. So we're gonna come down onto the floor, sitting down on our butt. Now, once you sit down, you're going to hook your right leg over your left knee. So make sure that your ankle is just above the left knee. Now from here, you're going to start pressing the same hand as your knee that's bent into that leg. Now we're going to start opening the chest, twist towards the back, make sure you keep your arms straight, twist back as much as you can, open through the shoulders, and then you're gonna come back. Now, if you feel quite a bit of a stretch, you're definitely doing that right. So you're gonna open, press through that knee, and then close. Open and close, and last one, open and close. Beautiful. Now we're gonna break that hand down to the floor, press that knee away from you, and twist towards that back arm. So you should be pressing your knee away from you as you open through your chest. Good, we're just gonna hold here for a few seconds. Make sure you keep opening your chest, get that arm extended. If you can reach a little further away, go ahead and do that. Reach a little further away. Get that chest to open up, and then sliding back up. Well done. Let's try it on the other side. So I'm gonna hook my left knee over the right this time. You're gonna press your left hand into your left knee. Press, open back. Make sure you're really extending through the chest as well. Open your hand as far as you can. Good, two more. Open back. Good, and last one. Make sure you're pressing through that knee. Beautiful, good. This time, you're gonna place your left hand onto your left knee. You're gonna open the chest, keep your arms straight, and twist away. Good, and then you're gonna open up and hold it, open through the chest. Make sure you're twisting away, press that knee away from you, twist towards that hand that's on the floor. Just gonna hold here for a few seconds. Try really opening through the chest, and then sliding hands back up. Well done. That's all your conditioning done. Alrighty, now let's get into a flying bird or twisted raven. Now for this particular trick, spin pole definitely works better. Now this is what it looks like. Alrighty, now let's break that down. Now, as you can see, it is quite a twisty move. So you'll have to really open through the chest and get that shoulder open up and your oblique as well. Now, just before we start this aerially, let's see if we can do this from the floor and screen if your shoulder is going to be open enough to do this move. So we're gonna start off by hooking the inside leg onto the pole. So you're going to get your oblique onto the pole, leaning forward. You're bringing your inside leg around, externally rotate that knee, hook that knee into a very tight leg hook. Now from there, you're gonna open your chest. So your opposite shoulder is gonna come around, grab the pole, and then see if you can get the pole into your armpit or your bicep. So it doesn't have to go all the way into your armpit, but as long as you can press it into your armpit, you will be able to do this move. However, if you're finding this quite tricky, the first thing to do is when you're wrapping your arm around, you can drop this leg a little further down so that you're not in a really tight leg hang. So you can hook this a little bit looser and test if you can do that. Now the other thing you can do is once you get into position, you can just do a twisty grip instead of coming into your forearm or your bicep. Now lastly, if still twisty grip is too much for you, then I would recommend you to instead just take your hands off and do essentially like a Scorpio variation. So there's your three options. So I'll show you what that looks like and walk you through it. So we're coming into an inside leg hang first. Pancake straddle, inside leg hang. You're gonna clear your hand, inside hand on the pole. You're gonna open your chest out. Now, if this is your maximum, you can tuck your leg underneath and this is your variation. Otherwise, if this is too much for you as well, hands off. Now, if you wanna try the full flying bird, from there you're gonna turn your wrist, get that pole into your armpit, press that armpit into the pole, tuck your legs under, and make sure that you're pressing your chin onto the pole, and you're gonna start stylizing your inside hand, opening out. To come out, take that hand off, back into your inside leg hang, straddle, then stepping out. Well done. Alrighty, now let's try this on the other side. Now on the other side, I'm gonna show you the different variations as well. And remember, when you're tucking your leg, you can either put it on your ankle or you can put it on your shin. That's totally up to you and what you prefer. Personally, I like it having a little bit higher up the shin. So I'm gonna come into invert, inside leg hang. Again, if this is your max, you can just tuck your leg behind. If you can, open up into twisty grip. Otherwise, go all the way into your armpit, tuck your leg behind, and then look either up towards the ceiling or look down to the floor. To come out, come back into your inside leg hang, and step it down. Well done. So there you have it. There is your flying bird or twisted raven. Alrighty, now let's go through some tips and common mistakes. Now, the first common mistake is a very loose leg hang. So just make sure your leg hang is horizontally condensed. So when you hook your inside leg, make sure you hook it so that it is really condensed rather than a very long leg hang. So once you come into your tight leg hang, remember that you're going to need a lot of oblique twists. So make sure that you're twisting your chest away from the pole. So your inside hand is going to be helping you. So make sure that you keep your inside hand on the pole and you're opening through your chest down to the floor. So you're almost thinking about wrapping your back all the way around the pole to get your armpit on the pole. Now, if you're finding it really tricky to wrap your armpit, first things first, drop your head a little further down to get your armpit on the pole. If you're pressing through the bottom hand, you're lifting up, it's gonna be a little bit harder unless you have a really good side bend, so keep that in mind. So, I'm gonna keep my inside hand on the pole for support, and I'm opening my chest, wrapping my back or getting my opposite shoulder onto the pole. I'm looking down. Then from there, you're gonna slide your hand up so that you get all the grip that you need. So make sure you're wrapping your hand around. So from here, I'm sliding my hand up, wrap my elbow around, and I'm pressing my palm in. Then when you tuck your leg, make sure you're tucking. So you can either have it on your ankle, if that's what you prefer. I personally like it a little bit more cross, so I'm gonna cross a little bit more across. Then I'm gonna reach up into my flying bird. Now remember that entries and exits are always very crucial. So please make sure you work on your entries and exits. And the other thing is stylizing your hand and head for this movement, because that is what completes the flying bird. Now in your flying bird, remember that your leg, again, you can either have it on your ankle or you can have it on your shin. This is totally up to you in terms of your leg position. But your hands, please, no traffic controller hands, unless you like the rigid hands, yeah? So if you wanna create a little bit more sort of flow through your fingertips, remember the finger hands, the fox hands. So make sure that you're pointing your index finger slightly above the pinky. With your bottom hand as well, make sure that even when you're pressing, I'm still engaging through the fingertips. And your inside hand, you can either just keep it there, so fly both of your hands backwards, or if you want to keep moving and stylize your inside hand, you can bring your hand in, you can bring it out, you can bring it up, down the side of your face. Just keep moving your hand, and that is going to create such a stunning flow with your movement. Now, in terms of your head movement, you can either look up towards the top of the ceiling, or you can also look down to the floor by elongating your inside neck. Now remember, when I say look up or down, I don't mean look up through your eyeballs, but I mean look directly up. So you're gonna elongate the front of your neck, or you're gonna elongate the side of your neck looking down to the floor. And that is how you stylize the movements. So when I'm here, I'm gonna look down, maybe even start looking up as you bring your hand up. You can bring it in. And there you have it. So that is how you stylize the flying bird. Now, lastly, let's just talk about the grip points so that we understand the grip points and what to use for grip. Remember, with your inside leg hang, you always have your inside thigh on the pole. You also have the back of your calf on the pole. So right here, you are also using your shelf as well. So make sure that you grip up your shelf. You're also gonna need your armpit, also your forearm as well. Make sure you grip up that. And lastly, your hands. Now, if you do have dry skin like I do, you might want to get something a little bit more tackier on your skin. And if you have really sweaty skin, make sure that you get something drying as well. And that is all the tips and common mistakes. Before I let you go, I have a little training tip in terms of your training environment. I'm a firm believer that your environment that you work in creates such a different vibe. So make sure that when you are training, that you are in optimal environment. Think about temperature regulation. If it's cold, make sure you warm up the room before you start training so that you don't start sliding immediately. If it's really hot, you might want to get some cooler in before you start the training so that you don't sweat and again, slide down. The other thing that can change dramatically is the lighting. I always make sure that I have ample lighting so that I feel like I'm in a good mood. If you're wanting to dance more sensually, you might even want to turn the lights darker. If you're finding a little bit more like ethereal and you want to go brighter, then make sure that you've got ample lighting, and I think warm light, cool light dictates so much of your mood. If you want to put some color lighting, feel free to do that. And lastly, the space around you. Make sure that you have really clean space, you feel really motivated. So I put things, let's say for example, my blocks, I have fitness gear, essentially things that symbolizes training. That's what I put around in my environment so that I feel a little bit motivated to train. So remember to use your environment to dictate your training, because I think that the environment you're in tells a lot about what you want to achieve and how you want your training to go. Thank you so much for joining me in the Flying Bird or Twisted Raven tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the very next tutorial. Bye! So we're coming into a spinning climb. Remember, outside hand on top. Hello. Isn't she gorgeous? Yes!